Hello, Bernardo.
Say, what is Horatio there?
A piece of him.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marsalis.
What, has his thing appeared again tonight?
I've seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy, and will not let belief take hold of him, telling this dreaded sight twice seen of us. Therefore I have entreated him along with us to watch the minutes of this night, that if again the apparition come, he may approve our eyes and speak to it.
'Twill not appear.
Sit down a while, and let us assail your ears on what we have seen 2 nights.
Well, sit we down, and let us hear Bernardo speak of this.
Last night of all, when yon same stars that's westward from the pole had made his course illumine that part of heaven, where now it burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one,
Peace, break thee off. Look where it comes, Horatio.
in the same figure as the king that's dead,
Thou art a scholar. Speak to it, Horatio.
not like the king. Mark it, Horatio.
Most like, it harrows me with fear and wonder.
It wouldn't be spoke to.
Speak to it, Horatio.
What art thou that usurpst this time of night, together with that fair and warlike form, in which the majesty of very Denmark did sometimes march? By heaven I charge thee, speak.
See, it stalks away.
Stay, speak, speak, I charge thee, speak.
'Tis God, and will not answer.
How now, Horatio? You tremble and look pale. Is not something more than fantasy? What think you on it?
Before my God I might not disbelieve, without the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Is it not like the king?
As thou art to thyself, such was the very armor he had on, when he the ambitious Norway combated, so frowned he once when in angry parle he smote and sledded on the ice, 'tis strange.
Thus twice before, and jump at this dead hour.
In what particular thought to work I know not, but in the gross and scope of mine opinion, this bodes some strange eruption to our state.
Good now, sit down and tell me.
That can I, at least the whisper goes so. Our last king, whose image even but now appeared to us, was, as you know, by Fortinbras of Norway, thereto pricked on by the most emulate pride, darred to the combat, in which our valiant Hamlet, for so this side of our known world esteemed him, did slay this Fortinbras, who, by a sealed compact, well ratified by law and heraldry, did forfeit with his life all those his lands, which he stood seized of by the conqueror, against the which a moiety competent was gauged by our king, which had returned to the inheritance of Fortinbras. Had he been vanquisher, as by the same comar and carriage of the article, his fell to Hamlet, now sir, young Fortinbras, of unimproved metal, hot and full, hath in the skirts of Norway here and there, sharked up a list of lawless resolutes for food and diet to some enterprise, that hath a stomach in't, which is no other, as it doth well appear unto our state, but to recover of us by strong hand and terms compulsatory those foresaid lands, so by his father lost, and thus I take it is the more motive of our preparations, the source of this our watch, and the chief head of the post haste and rummage in the land.
I think it be no other but even so. Well, may it sort that this pretentious figure comes on through our watch, so like the king that was and is the question of these wars.
A mote it is to trouble the mind's eye, in the most high and palmy state of Rome, a little ere the mightiest Julius fell. The grave stood, and the sheeted dead did squeak and gibber in the Roman streets, as stars with trains of fire and dews of blood, disasters in the sun and the moist star, upon whose influence Neptune's empire stands, was sick almost to doomsday with eclipse, and even the like precurse of feared events, as harbingers preceding still the fates, and prologued to the omen coming on, have heaven and earth together demonstrated unto our climatures and countrymen. But soft, behold, lo where it comes again. It spreads his arms. I'll cross it through, it blast me. Stay, illusion. If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If there be any good thing to be done, that may be thee do ease and grace to me, speak to me. If thou art privy to the country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, O speak. Or if thou hast uphoarded in thy life extorted treasure in the womb of the earth, for which they say your spirits oft walk in death, speak of it, stay and speak. Stop it. Marcellus.
Shall I strike with my partisan?
Do if it will not stand.
'Tis here.
'Tis here.
Tis God. We do it wrong, being so majestical, to offer it the show of violence, for it is as the air invulnerable, and our vain blows malicious mockery.
And then it started like a guilty thing, upon a fearful summons. I have heard the cock, that is the trumpet of the morn, doth with his lofty and shrill-sounding throat awake the god of day, and at his warning, whether in sea or fire, in earth or air, the extravagant and erring spirit hies to his confine, and of the truth herein, this present object made probation.
It faded on the crowing of the cock. Some say that ever against that season comes, wherein our Saviour's birth is celebrated. This bird of dawning signeth all night long. And then they say no spirit dare stir abroad. The nights are wholesome, that no planet strike, no fairy takes, nor witch hath power to charm. So hallowed and so gracious is that time.
So have I heard, and do in part believe it. But look, the morn in roseate mantle clad walks o'er the dew of your high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet, for upon my life this spirit, dumb to us, will speak to him. Do you consent we shall acquaint him with it, as needful in our lives, fitting our duty?
Let's do it, I pray, and I this morning know where we shall find him most convenient.